Part 2. I Took Away the Villain's Son. Author, the Great Onmyoji. Chapter 11. Earned 10,000 points due to subordinate's betrayal. Earned 10,000 points for subordinate lying. Looking at the line of points income records on the panel, Yang Hao was speechless. This line of point income had already appeared when Deng Meng appeared in front of him. So, from the beginning, Yang Hao knew that Deng Meng had betrayed him. But he wasn't surprised. Chasing the protagonist usually doesn't end well. The other two were already dead, how could Deng Meng come back alive? Apparently, Fang Lai used the protagonist's domineering spirit to subdue him, and in turn plotted against him. Pity. Fang Lai and Deng Meng could not have imagined that the system's point income records had been completely revealed by him before the calculation even started. This Fang Lai is obviously not as simple as Deng Meng said. Do you want me to send Jian-san to die? Yang Hao murmured to himself. Jian-san is a strong man in the 9th level of the supernatural realm. In his memory, Fang Lai is only in the Dao pattern realm. Even according to Deng Meng, Fang Lai is only in the true body realm. Fang Lai was so confident that he wanted to plot against me. It seems that in the face of Jian-san's pursuit, even if he does not have the strength above the 9th level of the magical power realm, he should have other means at this moment to burst out the strength beyond the magical power realm. It is indeed an existence with the fate of the protagonist. Yang Hao smiled lightly, seeing through everything. Not only did he not panic at all, but he no longer bothered about the matter. Even so, it's just a tiny speck of dust. Now, it's time for me to practice. He turned around and said casually, Jianwu, clean it up. As soon as the words fell, a figure exuding a powerful aura appeared and disposed of Deng Meng's body without saying a word. Yang Hao had already appeared in another place on Yaoguang Immortal Peak. Looking in front of him, he saw a pure white body. Deep spring. On the cleansing water, strands of fairy mist rise up, and the extremely rich spiritual energy hits your face. There is no doubt that this deep spring in front of you is a treasure. Lingquan Holy Pool. Yang Ha's Hong appeared all the information about this treasure land in front of him. As far as he knew, this deep spring called Lingquan Holy Pool, all the water in it is formed by the liquid of spiritual energy. It is conceivable that if you enter it, bathing, washing the body with spiritual energy so rich that it turns into spring water, will bring unimaginable benefits to the body. Even some evil geniuses cannot enjoy such a treasure, but he can use it at any time. This is the treatment that only the Holy Son of the Holy Land has. Yang Hao is very satisfied. Lingquan Holy Pond is where he plans to practice Juya prison suppression technique in the past few days. Although the points can directly improve the realm, Yang Hao does not want to lose his enterprising spirit because of the system. What's more, Yang Hao discovered when you practice again, you will get many more points than usual. This is killing two birds with one stone. Your Highness, do you need to take a bath? Let me serve you. Just as Yang Hao was about to step into it, several girls with excellent figures and stunning looks appeared respectfully. No need, go down. Yang Hao glanced at these girls for a few times and said casually. Looking at their longing eyes, they instantly turned pale. Yang Hao shook his head. The original Holy Son of Yaoguang was extremely extravagant and ridiculous, even if he came to practice in the holy pool of Lingquan. They also need someone to serve them. These girls can be regarded as the harem of the Holy Son of Light, and of course they are his harem. But right now, he has no interest in caring about these. He understands very well that in this world, only strength is king. Although on the surface, he seemed not to care about the threats of the protagonists, but Yang Hao would not slack off at all. After seeing those girls leaving in disappointment, Yang Hao stepped into the pool, and endless spiritual liquid surged into his body. Physical body. Earned 1000 points for bathing in the spiritual spring. Earned 1000 points due to physical strengthening. Add a bit. Yang Hao added all the points he had just obtained to the secret method of Juyo suppressing prison, and started to run Juyo suppressing prison, practicing and comprehending it. However, as soon as he understood it, Yang Hao's expression changed drastically. He used Juyo's prison suppressing method and began to slowly suppress the billions of cells in his body. However, he found that the billions of cells in his body had turned into the most flexible swimming fish at this moment, swimming crazily and extremely difficult to catch. Not only that, just this moment consumed my mind to a great extent. Fortunately, I have the nourishment of this spiritual spring, which can keep me in the best condition at all times. If I practice in another place, I will be exhausted mentally and physically, and I will no longer be able to practice today. Capture, suppress. Yang Hao has a strong mind and is immersed in practice again. Earn 3,000 points due to physical refining. Earn 3,000 points due to consuming treasure. In the next few days, a steady stream of body refining treasures were continuously sent to Yang Hao's Yaoguang Immortal Peak. The more points you get when you fall into a state of cultivation. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye. Yang Hao would probably be shocked if the Eternal Holy Lord knew about the progress of Juyo's prison suppressing method. Today is the time to open the Wanlong Dojo. After 7 days, I have invested more than 100,000 points in Juyo suppression prison, and I have been able to initially suppress hundreds of millions of cells, bursting out with terrifying physical strength. If he were a strong person in the 9th level of the ordinary magical realm, I should be able to suppress him just by using my physical body. Even if the foundation is created, the existence of the king may not be unable to fight. Yang Hao combined the memories he obtained and made a preliminary estimate of his current strength. This is just his pure physical strength. The semi-god level secret method is really well deserved. Reading books on May Day is a great pleasure. I took away the villain's son. Author, the great Onmyoji. Chapter 12. Auntie, here I come. Yang Hao flew directly into the forbidden area of the Holy Land of Eternal Life and climbed to the Immortal Tower. Today is the day when the Wanlong Dojo was opened. Yang Hao came according to the instructions of the Holy Lord of Eternal Life. It didn't waste any time. Let's go. The Holy Lord of Eternal Life saw Yang Hao's arrival. As his figure swayed, a clear light flashed, and a flying boat emitting a shining treasure suddenly appeared. When Yang Hao saw this flying boat, he understood that the 10,000 Dragons Dojo must be extremely far away. Even with the eternal life, the Holy Lord sets foot on this flying boat. After meditating on it these past few days, do you have any confusion? After the two set foot on the flying boat, the eternal Holy Lord asked. She didn't expect Yang Hao to make any progress in Juyo prison in just a few days, but it was just a casual question. According to her idea, this time after the trip to the Wanlong Dojo, Yang Hao's physical body changed. She took care of it herself. Only then could she officially start practicing this semi-god level secret method of body refining. There are some. Auntie, the first step of the Juyo prison suppression method is to suppress billions of cells. But these days, although I can barely suppress it, but I want to tap into its potential, but I am unable to do it, and I feel like I am not doing enough. What's more troublesome is, I tried to break through the real body realm to the second heaven. Although the physical body was a little tougher, the cells that had been barely suppressed became more active and began to get out of control. I never thought that when Yang Hao heard this, he asked about his confusion without hesitation. Such a saint-level existence is willing to give him guidance at all times, and of course he will not let it go. As for exposing his strength, this is exactly what he wants. The stronger you are, the more diligently the Eternal Holy Lord will cultivate you. What? Have you been able to initially suppress cells in your body? Can billions of cells be suppressed? When the Eternal Holy Lord heard Yang Hao's words, he immediately trembled and grabbed Yang Hao's wrist with his jade hand. After a moment, the induction ended. Her beautiful eyes were full of shock. With her strength, she could naturally sense the situation in Yang Hao's body. Because of this, the Eternal Holy Lord was extremely shocked. How many days has it been? This little guy has already initially understood the semi-god level secret method of Juyo prison suppression, and has begun to practice it, and even has great potential progress. Even Yang Hao's by the way breakthrough to the second level of the true body realm in a short period of time was subconsciously ignored by the Eternal Holy Lord. Because compared to Yang Hao's progress in Juyo's prison suppressing method, it's not worth mentioning. Yang Hao nodded innocently and said, yes. It should be that this secret method is innately compatible with me. I can understand it easily and practice it directly. It's just that this secret method is too difficult and has too many difficulties. Auntie, am I too stupid? The Eternal Holy Lord. She was shocked and helpless. It took a full 100 years to obtain this secret method in the past, from understanding it to preliminary practice, and then to Yang Hao's current situation. This little guy only took less than 7 days. It really surprised and delighted her. The Eternal Holy Lord also has a broad vision and has seen the power of countless monsters. As time goes by, too many amazing and talented people have been born. She gradually regained her composure after the shock, and could only attribute the speed of Yang Hao's cultivation to the blessings he received from the supreme immortal bone in his body and the favor of the heaven and earth visions. The Eternal Holy Lord calmed down his emotions for a moment, smiled and said to Yang Hao, you little guy, you really got an advantage and behaved well. As a semi-god level secret method, the 9 nether prison suppression technique is so simple. Originally, I wanted to wait until you came back from Wanlong Dojo before telling you. But now your Juyo prison suppression method is considered an introduction, so it doesn't hurt to tell you in advance. Yang Hao heard this and pricked up his ears. He was really confused. Although he could improve the 9 nether prison suppression technique by adding points, his control over the cells was extremely poor. If this continued, he would not dare to break through again. It is estimated that under the current situation, once he steps into the 3rd level of the true body realm, it is impossible to say that the billions of cells that have been suppressed by him will escape his control. If you want to completely suppress billions of cells now, it's impossible. When the Eternal Holy Lord opened his mouth, Yang Hao was stunned. According to Emperor Juyo, every cell in the body is a devil. They are crazy, unruly, and violent. They are one with you. The stronger you are, the stronger they become. It's okay if you don't practice Juyo to suppress the prison. As soon as there is a chance, it will escape from your control and even bite back. If you want to suppress them, the cage you build must be extremely tough. What is a cage? Nature is your physical body. Why are you allowed to practice this method in the true body realm? Precisely because the stronger you are, the harder it is to control the billions of demons in your body. In order to suppress these demons, my aunt spent thousands of years, but in the end she could barely succeed. But that's all. It is almost impossible to go further. But it's possible for you. The true body state is the key state for the sublimation of the physical body. This is the only state where you can continuously improve your physique. In the true body realm, your physical body can be sublimated from the true body to the treasure body, the treasure body to the king body, and the king body to the immortal body. Once you build your own immortal body, it will be an extremely tough cage, so that you can suppress these demons. However, not everyone can transform their body into a fairy body. Each practitioner's physical body also has an upper limit. Even if many people deliberately stay in the real body state, they can transform into a treasure body at most. The king's body is already an existence that is out of reach for ordinary practitioners. I take you to Wanlong Dojo because this Wanlong Dojo is the dojo left by the ancient dragon clan. The ancient dragon race is one of the toughest races in the world. Forging a physical body with the dragon energy of Wanlong Dojo can greatly improve the strength of your physical body, giving you the potential to advance to the immortal body. Don't practice this 9 nether prison suppression technique again before you truly begin to sublimate your physique. Your speed of enlightenment is too fast. Generally speaking, it is only when one reaches the third heaven that one begins to sublimate the physical body. Hearing the strange last words of the Eternal Lord, Yang Hao smiled bitterly. The Eternal Lord's words were easy to understand and made him understand. He didn't expect that it would be a mistake to comprehend Zhu prison suppressing method too quickly. Is it the 10,000 dragon dojo left by the ancient dragon clan? I am looking forward, Yang Hao thought to himself. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I took away the villain's son. Author, the great Onmyoji. Chapter 13. The flying boat of the Eternal Holy Lord did not directly leave the Eternal Holy Land and go to the 10,000 Dragons dojo. The flying boat stayed for a moment, and several more figures fell into the flying boat. Met the Holy Lord. I have seen the Holy Lord. A man and a woman, 2 humble voices sounded. Yang Hao squinted his eyes and looked over. The person who entered the flying boat halfway was still impressed in his memory. His eyes stopped on the respectful man, that was a young man wearing a Chinese robe with gloomy eyebrows. Not far from the young man, there is a stunning girl with a dress as white as frost and a cold face. It turned out to be Qiang and Tianxian. Yang Hao shook his head and looked back. The Yunyi boy is the holy son of Qiang, and the stunning girl is the saint of Tianxian. They are both the son and saint of the Eternal Holy Land, ranking 6th and 5th respectively, just above him. He was not familiar with either of them, nor was he interested in them, so he naturally didn't bother to pay attention to them. The Holy Lord is well. In addition to Holy Son Qiang and Holy Lady Tianxian, there was also an old man in black accompanying him. This man's features were humble, but his aura was unfathomable, and Yang Hao could not see through it. No need to be polite. The Eternal Holy Lord also spoke indifferently at this moment. Compared with Yang Hao's humility when they were together, the Eternal Holy Lord at this moment seemed extremely cold and aloof. With her eyes, she looked indifferently at Holy Son Qiang and Saint Tianxian. Good character. In order to wait for the birth of the 10,000 Dragons dojo, I have to wait for more than 10 years in the true body realm, which is really hard for you. After her words fell, Holy Son Qiang and Holy Lady Tianxian both showed surprise in their eyes. Obviously, they felt honored to be praised by the Holy Lord, even if they were the Holy Son and Holy Lady of the Eternal Holy Land. This time Fluct Light will enter the Wanlong dojo with you. Then take care of it. If something happens to Yao Guang. However, he heard the Eternal Holy Lord change his subject and spoke directly without shying away from his preference for Yang Hao. The faces of Saint Qiang and Saint Tianxian changed slightly when they heard this, and they both subconsciously looked at Yang Hao, who was lazily beside the Eternal Saint Lord. Only then did they realize that the reason why the Holy Lord praised them was just to let them take care of this guy, Holy Son of Light. As the Holy Son of the Eternal Holy Land, they naturally knew about Holy Son Yao Guang and had heard some ridiculous things about Holy Son Yao Guang. Neither Qiang nor Tianxian looked down upon Yao Guang in their hearts, thinking that Yao Guang's son was just a waste relying on the favor of the Holy Lord. Now I know that I will go with Holy Son of Light this time, and even protect and look after him. Although the two of them were extremely respectful to the Eternal Holy Lord on the surface, they were quite unhappy on the inside. I didn't expect that the Holy Son of Yao Guang would also go to Wanlong dojo. It seems that the Holy Son of Fluctuating Light has been engraved with the symbol of eternal life, which is really gratifying. But Holy Master, although the 10,000 Dragons dojo has great opportunities, it is not without dangers. If the divine weapon is revealed in the Wanlong dojo, it will be swallowed by the dragon's energy. In addition, monsters from other holy places will enter. Holy Son of Light, please pay special attention to safety. At this time, The old man who came with the two men coughed and said. The implication was that he obviously disapproved of Yang Hao going to Wanlong Dojo. However, when the Eternal Holy Lord heard this, he said without saltiness, because of this, I just let the two little guys Qiang and Tianqian take care of Lucky Light. Has a problem. Hearing the words of the Eternal Holy Lord, the corners of the old man's mouth twitched slightly. Holy Sun Qiang and Saint Tianqian also felt a little incredible. They had long heard that the Holy Lord loved Holy Sun Yaoguang extremely much, but what they heard and what they really saw, the experience was completely different. Just when the two of them had mixed feelings, they were both envious and jealous. Elder Huayan's words reminded me. The Eternal Holy Lord spoke again, but he casually shot out a spiritual light, and the terrifying aura disappeared in a flash and entered Yang Hao's body. Fluct light. I planted a seal of immortality in your body. If you encounter a life or death crisis, the seal of eternal life will be released. Remember, this time you enter the Wanlong Dojo, your task is to absorb the dragon energy, get opportunities, and don't be afraid of danger. Hearing the words of the Eternal Holy Lord, the whole place was silent. At this moment, Holy Sun Qiang and Holy Lady Tianqian felt the gap between people. They were both at the level of the Holy Sun, but looking at them in front of the Holy Lord, the gap between them and the Holy Sun of Yaoguang. This kind of preference is really beyond their comprehension. On the one hand, they looked down on Yang Hao, but on the other hand, they became even more envious and jealous. Yes. Yang Hao also reacted and felt an extremely terrifying energy gestating in his body, and immediately responded. He knew very well that if it were the original fluctuating light, no matter how much the Eternal Holy Lord favored it, he would not be so exaggerated. The level. But precisely because of the potential he has shown now, it has shocked the Eternal Holy Lord. Naturally, the Eternal Holy Lord will never let any accidents happen to him. Holy Lord. What is the approximate power of this eternal seal? Yang Hao's voice sounded again, and he couldn't hold back his curiosity. Hearing Yang Hao's question, Saint Qiang and Saint Tianqian pricked up their ears unconsciously. They were also curious in their hearts. He. At this time, a bitter smile came. The elder who was called Huayan by the Eternal Holy Lord spoke slowly. The Holy Lord gave this Tao seal in the body of Holy Sun Yaoguang, although it is not as good as the Holy Lord's full blow. But, if you want to kill me, it is enough. Hearing the words of the Huayan elder, the flying boat fell into silence again. Gudong. Holy Sun Qiang swallowed hard. A seal of eternal life given by the Holy Lord can kill Elder Huayan? He knew very well that Elder Huayan was an invincible king. The Holy Lord of eternal life gave such a seal. The Taoist seal is on the Holy Sun of Yaoguang. By then, in the Wanlong Dojo, Yaoguang can walk sideways. Then they still need to take care of this guy? Who dares to provoke this guy? Who has already stepped in with half a foot? Coffin. There was silence for a long time. Under the terrifying aura of the Eternal Holy Lord, no one in the flying boat spoke again, letting time pass by. All right. Arrive. At this time, the Eternal Holy Lord spoke indifferently. Wanlong Dojo, she finally arrived at the speed of her flying boat. I took away the villain's son. Author, the Great Onmyoji. Chapter 14. Roar. Roar. Stepping out of the flying boat and floating in the void, before he could take a closer look, Yang Hao could feel the terrifying roars coming continuously, and the whole world was shaking. He squinted his eyes and saw a desolate scene in front of him. Looking far into the distance, he could see that everything was scorched earth. It can be vaguely seen that there seems to be traces of yellowish aura in the air, constantly overflowing from the cracks in the void. Here, it is a ruin, but it is not deserted. In Yang Hao's sight, he could see many figures standing in the void in the distance. These figures all exude a terrifying aura. They are obviously strong men. Wanlong Dojo is right here. The time came just right. The dragon energy is already overflowing, and it seems that within a few moments, the 10,000 Dragons Dojo, which is born once in 1,000 years, will appear. The Hawaiian elder appeared and said casually to Yang Hao and the other two people. Met the Holy Lord. I never thought that the Holy Lord would come in person. It was really disappointing to meet him from afar. Just as he was talking, several figures of powerful men approached in the distance. They were all powerful men from other holy lands, and they were all surprised by the appearance of the eternal Holy Lord. Don't worry about me. This time the 10,000 Dragons Dojo is born, the people of my eternal holy land will be the first to enter. The eternal Holy Lord appeared calmly. Facing these powerful men from other holy places, he still didn't care at all, with an unquestionable tone in his tone. When the Holy Lord comes, face will naturally be given. One of the beings with a powerful aura said immediately. The strong men from other holy places also nodded and did not refuse. Everyone understood that secret places like Wanlong Dojo were born, and the sooner they entered, the greater the benefits they would get. However, these secret places are jointly controlled by several major holy places, and the Holy Land of Eternal Life is the strongest among them. However, there are only a few places to be admitted first. Who dares to say more? When Yang Hao saw the robes of these powerful men, his mind overturned, corresponding memories gradually appear. People from the Holy Land of Kinkan and Yin Yang Holy Land. This 10,000 Dragons Dojo should be jointly controlled by the three holy places. It's just that these strong men are guarding this place right now, but no one else has entered the dojo. When he noticed the people in the Yin Yang Holy Land, he naturally thought of Fang Lai, who had already thrown himself into the Yin Yang Holy Land. Originally, as Fang Lai, he should not be qualified to enter the 10,000 Dragons Dojo. But as the protagonist, I can't judge it with common sense. If he is here, kill him directly to avoid long nights and dreams. Fang Lai is the old enemy of Holy Sun Yao Guang, and he has the fate of the protagonist. Naturally, Yang Hao is full of murderous intentions in his heart. But looking around, although the Yin Yang Holy Land side saw several geniuses with extraordinary appearance, he did not see any. Fang Lai's shadow. Roar. At this moment, another shocking dragon roar came. The whole world seemed to be shattered under this dragon roar. For a moment, a large amount of the thin yellow air surged out, carrying a huge pressure. Wanlong Dojo was born. Some strong men exclaimed. The originally desolate wasteland below was suddenly covered by clear golden light. There seemed to be mysterious water ripples one after another. The space inside was extremely unstable. If a slightly more powerful existence entered, it is very likely that the sudden water ripples will be completely shattered. Seeing this scene, many strong men erupted into the sky and completely blocked the space around the place where the strange phenomenon occurred. On the one hand, it was to stabilize this space. On the other hand, no one can enter without authorization. There is no doubt that this place where the strange phenomenon suddenly appeared is the entrance to the Wanlong Dojo. Yaoguang, Qiang, Tianxian. You go in. At this time, the Hawaiian elder was also sealing this area of the world. While he was sealing the seal, he said, "Walk." After hearing the words, Holy Sun Qiang perked up and turned into a rainbow, heading towards the entrance. The strong men who blocked the world did not stop him when they saw Holy Sun Qiang. Saint Tianxian also hurriedly followed. And go. Pity. He actually didn't come. Seeing this scene, Yang Hao shook his head with regret. He observed carefully, especially in the Yin and Yang Holy Land, Fang Lai was not seen. Otherwise, outside the Wanlong Dojo, he would have shot this person on the spot. Kill. After confirming that Fang Lai had not arrived, Yang Hao also flew into the entrance of Wanlong Dojo. After seeing everyone in the Holy Land of Eternal Life entering, they waited for about half an hour. A group of strong men who suppressed the world tacitly moved the others. The monsters from the Holy Land are gradually put in. First the monsters from the Yin-Yang Holy Land enter first, and then the slightly weaker Kinkan Holy Land. Every time a batch of monsters is put in, they wait for half an hour. The ranks are clear and extremely realistic. When the last batch is after the monsters from the Kinkan Holy Land entered the Wanlong Dojo, all forces prepared to completely seal the void. Suddenly, a figure that reached the sky and the earth descended. Holy Lord of Yin and Yang. Many powerful people looked sideways, and they were extremely surprised. They never thought that when the 10,000 Dragons Dojo was born today, two Saint Lord level figures would come to it one after another. It is really rare. Don't ban it. Our Yin-Yang Holy Land has just given birth to a holy son. It coincides with the birth of Wanlong Dojo. It is also his chance, so he is allowed to enter first. Holy Lord Yin-Yang spoke, and then waved his sleeves. Suddenly, a tall young man appeared. If Yang Hao were here, he would definitely recognize that this newly promoted holy son of Yin-Yang Holy Land is Fang Lai. I took away the villain's son. Author, the Great Onmyoji. Chapter 15. Yang Hao, who had already entered Wanlong Dojo, did not know that although Fang Lai arrived late, he finally caught up with Wanlong Dojo and was born. Inside Wanlong Dojo. Although Yang Hao, Saint Sun Qiang, and Saint Tianqian entered the dojo front and back, the space inside the dojo was chaotic and they were directly teleported and scattered. He was looking at the end of the distance at this time, feeling surprised in his heart. Wanlong Dojo is the dojo where the ancient dragon clan once practiced. The physical bodies of the ancient dragons are extremely powerful. The fallen dragon scales are left in the dojo and gradually turn into infinite dragon energy. They will be born once every 1,000 years. When the energy is gone, they will be sealed again. Because of this, every time Wanlong Dojo is born, dragon energy is vented in the dojo. These dragon energy are sharp but lack stamina, but they carry a trace of the blood of the ancient dragon clan, which is the treasure for sharpening the body. Entering the Wanlong Dojo is to collect the dragon energy that appears in the Wanlong Dojo and use it to sharpen the physical body and open up the physical body. Only. Why do I feel that these dragon energies are much more than what my aunt said? Yang Hao looked at Tianq in the distance with a strange expression. This is a small world of pitch black and boundless space. Only at the end of the sky is an extremely rich orange color, which turns into the shape of a dragon and keeps circling. Everything is filled with dragon energy. Just by looking at it, there are more than 10,000 dragon energy gathering. You must know that the dragon energy in Wanlong Dojo does not really have tens of thousands of paths. On the contrary, after countless years of catharsis, the dragon energy in this 10,000 Dragons Dojo has become much scarcer. Not to mention Wandeo, if you enter Wanlong Dojo and encounter thousands of dragon energies, it will be a great opportunity. Because of this, the earlier those who enter the Wanlong Dojo, the greater the advantage. After all, the dragon energy of Wanlong Dojo is limited every time. If one is collected, one less one will be taken away. Once the dragon energy is consumed, Wanlong Dojo will be closed again. One step disappears and the other increases, naturally one step is faster and the other is faster. But at this time, Yang Hao looked at the dragon energy surging at the end of the horizon, which had formed a golden ocean. At least there are more than 100,000 dragon energy gathered together. Yang Hao took a deep breath, and there was a hint of excitement in his heart. His fingers were playing with a little yellow and transparent air mass at the moment, which was the dragon energy he had collected just now. The dragon energy was getting lighter little by little. Seemed to be completely absorbed by him. It is indeed the dragon energy left over from the ancient dragon clan. It has only been refined once, and I can feel that my physical body is rapidly becoming stronger. The most amazing thing is, as I refine the dragon energy, the billions of restless cells in my body seem to be shocked in an instant. My whole physical body seems to be waking up. The body refining effect is really too strong. This place is truly a treasure. Yang Hao's eyes were sharp, he stepped on his feet, bursting out at extremely high speed, heading towards the end of the world. When Yang Hao discovered that 100,000 dragon energies were gathering, in another space of Wanlong Dojo. How come there is no dragon energy? Impossible. It was clear that just now outside the Wanlong Dojo, one could feel the extremely surging dragon energy bursting out. Why can't I see a dragon aura after entering Wanlong Dojo? Qiang Holy Sun seemed to have gone crazy at this moment, galloping and flying crazily in this space. In order to enter the Wanlong Dojo to refine dragon energy, he has been stagnant in the 9th level of the true body realm for 13 full years. The purpose is to be able to develop an immortal body in the true body realm. But when he entered the Wanlong Dojo with high hopes, he was completely dumbfounded. No dragon spirit. No matter how hard he searched, he couldn't see any trace of yellowish color. There is only darkness, endless darkness. This makes Qiang Shenzi crazy. Not just Qiang Holy Sun. Saint Tianqian who entered with him, as well as the evil geniuses who later entered Yin Yang Holy Land and Qian Kun Holy Land, all fell into the same predicament as Qiang Holy Sun. At this time, outside Wanlong Dojo, Fang Lai entered under the spotlight. A lot of dragon energy. The Holy Dragon Scale should be here. Fang Lai appeared in Wanlong Dojo, and a large amount of dragon energy gathered not far away. His eyes flickered, and he obviously knew a lot of secrets, and his expression was extremely excited. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I took away the villain's son. Author, the great Onmyoji. Chapter 16. P.S. Sorry for the late update today, but there will be no shortage of updates. Mainly revising the previous articles, focusing on Chapter 9, and Chapter 12 perfecting the settings of the lower realm. Let me know, if you don't understand it too well, you can take a look. The plot has not been changed, but some text bugs have been modified to make it easier for everyone to understand. The following is the text. Galloping in the void, Yang Hao was extremely fast. The rich orange ocean in the distance, even though it was far away in the horizon, it didn't take Yang Hao too long to reach the bottom where the dragon's energy was coiled. Every dragon energy is a holy object for body refining. Yang Hao's eyes were bright and his figure was flashing. He came to the edge of the dragon energy, stretched out his hand and grabbed a large ball of dragon energy in his hand. There were more than 100 dragon energy in his hand. Refining. Yang Hao knew that this was an opportunity, so he would not hesitate. Even without hesitation, he began to refine the dragon energy into his body. After the clear yellow dragon energy poured into his body, his limbs and bones began to greedily absorb it. Earn 10,000 points for refining dragon energy. Earn 10,000 points for refining dragon energy. Earn 10,000 points due to physical transformation. When Yang Hao was refining these dragon energies, the points he received began to soar crazily. Crackling. His body made an extremely clear sound. Faintly, you can even hear the roar of dragons coming from your muscles and bones. His body is undergoing a qualitative change. Yang Hao can easily feel that his strength is improving by leaps and bounds. The effect is even better than taking the elixir from the Holy Land of Eternal Life. Take this opportunity to break through the 3rd level of the true body realm and condense the treasure body, even the king's body, in one breath. Yang Hao's eyes were like a god. He sensed the changes in his physical body and knew that while refining these 100 dragon energies, he was about to break through the realm and enter the 3rd level of the true body realm. Add a bit. The points were directly added to the realm. This wave of points became the help to break through the 3rd level of the real body realm. Suddenly, Yang Hao's whole body burst into light. Dragon roars rang out from Yang Hao's body. At this time, many of the dragon energy nearby were absorbed by Yang Hao's body unconsciously. Really accomplished. Yang Hao shouted coldly, and his physical body bloomed with splendor, giving him a feeling of gold and jade. At this moment, he jumped into the third level of the true body realm, and successfully sublimated his physical body and became the true body. The treasure body is completed. However, at the next moment, Yang Hao shouted again. His body was like a whale swallowing water again, completely swallowing up all the dragon energy. The body that originally bloomed like gold and jade suddenly became as clear as glass. It is indeed the dragon energy left over from the ancient dragon clan. It is really very effective. Yang Hao sensed the power that was constantly coming from his body, and his heart was shaken. Even if the Holy Son of the Eternal Holy Land enjoys countless resources, it is impossible for him to improve so quickly. But just at this moment, he refined thousands of after 100 dragon energy, he had condensed a treasure body, and his combat power was at least doubled. Not only that, Yang Hao could clearly sense that as he condensed a treasure body, the originally restless cells in his body were all destroyed. He suppressed firmly again. If the 9 nether prison suppressing technique is used to squeeze the potential of cells, the combat power will rise again. It will be easy to completely refine and sublimate the 100,000 dragon energy in front of you into an immortal body. Yang Hao struck while the iron was hot, and once again began to frantically plunder the dragon energy one after another in front of him, and kept refining it. His physical body began to sublimate again, and it was only a matter of time before he sublimated the treasure body into a king's body that many practitioners could not match in this life. Yang Hao was in a good mood, and suddenly his pupils shrank and his face gradually changed. He just took a startled look, but unexpectedly saw that his points income record was mixed with several strange records. Earned 10,000 points for refining dragon energy. Earned 100 points for being spied on. Earned 1,000 points for being jealous. I took away the villain's son. Author, the Great Onmyoji. Chapter 17. Being spied on, jealous. Someone. Yang Hao understood immediately. But Yang Hao was not surprised. After all, he was not the only one who entered the Wanlong dojo. The dragon energy here gathered like a sea. It was not surprising that someone came. Speed up collection. Yang Hao did not deliberately investigate. After looking around and finding no other figures, he just changed his strategy. Instead of refining and collecting at the same time, he paid more attention to collecting the dragon energy. Earned 100 points for being spied on. Earned 1,000 points for being jealous. Earned 1,000 points for malice suffered. However, what Yang Hao didn't expect was that the points income record was still flooding the screen. Strangeness. There is so much dragon energy, and I am not in a hurry to absorb and temper my body, but I keep spying on me, jealous of me, and even have ill intentions toward me. Yang Hao narrowed his eyes. He was the Holy Son of the Eternal Holy Land. Any evil genius who is qualified to enter the 10,000 Dragons dojo would not fail to recognize him. Things are very abnormal. Who wants to take action against me? Yang Hao increased his vigilance and began to think in his mind. Wanlong dojo is a treasured place. It is not particularly dangerous inside. Those who can enter are all promising evil geniuses. No one will waste time not looking for opportunities but snooping. His noble son. Interesting. Yang Hao showed a faint smile, and then stopped collecting, refining the dragon energy. Find you and kill you. His idea is very crude and direct. Just pry. They are constantly malicious towards him. There is no need to know the origin of the other party. Once they find it, they just kill it on the spot. Yang Hao is very decisive. At this moment, even the dragon energy is placed first. On the side, the search began. This land of dragon energy is not too big for a practitioner of the true body realm. For Yang Hao, it should not be difficult to find the spying figure. Strangeness. Did you find out in advance and leave? Are you willing to give up the dragon energy here? Yang Hao flew at high speed, cruising around in a circle, but found no trace. He was secretly surprised. He knew that someone was snooping, and it was because of the system. He originally thought that he would be able to find it by surprise, but he never expected that he would find nothing. It's not my style to leave it at that. Yang Hao smiled. He was not broad-minded, and even had some flaws that he had to repay. Since he was determined to find the other party, he would not give up halfway. Time pattern. Backtrace. Mysterious and endless lines suddenly appeared in Yang Hao's pupils. The 10 immortality lines on the supreme immortal bone merged into one, forming an extremely mysterious timeline. Suddenly, in Yang Hao's eyes, this world changed extremely quickly. Time. Looking back in his eyes. Soon, a figure appeared in Yang Hao's eyes. Fang Lai. Yang Hao was a little surprised, but he was instantly relieved. This protagonist, who had never appeared in Wanlong Dojo, did not expect to enter this place after all, and without any surprise, he discovered the treasure land of Dragon Chichenjai. Naturally, he also saw it's him. If it was Fang Lai, nothing would be surprising. It's normal for the other party to spy on him and express his malice. Yang Hao chuckled in his heart, never expecting to meet Fang Lai like this. The mysterious lines in his eyes represented time. Continuing to flow, the previous scenes keep looking back. He has some skills. However, the dragon energy is not refined here. It seems that it is going to other places. Yang Hao looked at Fang Lai on the time rewind screen. The other party was very lucky, and he left decisively in another direction just before he started searching this area. Yang Hao could see that Fang Lai was not aware of anything. But the unusual determination to leave. It seems that from the beginning, the other party's destination was not here. Even if Yang Hao hadn't been here, Fang Lai wouldn't have looked at this dragon's energy into the sea. Things are getting interesting, Yang Hao murmured to himself. The next moment he made an astonishing decision. He also chose to give up the 100,000 dragon energy at his fingertips, and instead flew in the direction Fang Lai left. The protagonist's luck, he murmured, then chuckled. Now I see. That's mine. I took away the villain's son. Author, the great Onmyoji. Chapter 18. Wanlong Dojo is 800 miles away from the place where Dragon Chi becomes the sea. It's good luck to Yao Guang this waste. After I collect the holy dragon scales, I will kill you again. A tall young man with a cold face and sinister eyes. He is the newly promoted holy son of Yin Yang Holy Land. He is also the evil genius Fang Lai, who was once the holy land of eternal life. This evildoer, who was born as a domestic slave, has unparalleled qualifications. His luck was astonishing and his rise was extremely fast. If it had not been for the Holy Son of Light to suppress him, he would have already become the 7th Holy Son of the Eternal Holy Land. He has a noble status and is appreciated by many big shots. Even so, now Fang Lai still relies on his by chance. He became the Holy Son of the Yin Yang Holy Land. His nature was vicious and his flaws would be repaid. Anyone who had offended him would be brutally slaughtered by him one by one, leaving no one alive. The Holy Son of Yao Guang not only suppressed him, he even sent people to hunt him down many times, and he had been hated by Fang Lai for a long time. However, the Holy Son of Yao Guang had a monstrous background, and his previous cultivation was not as good as him, so he had been holding back until now. I never thought that in Wanlong Dojo inside, he unexpectedly met Yao Guang refining dragon energy. He has now had several opportunities, and his strength is no longer what it used to be. He is confident that he can suppress the useless Holy Son Yao Guang. Therefore, he just saw Yao Guang Holy Son refining. When he was in the dragon's aura, Fang Lai had already had murderous intentions, and wanted to attack and kill him several times. However, to be able to reach this point, Fang Lai not only had unparalleled luck, but also had a meticulous mind. He did not hesitate to spend a huge price to ask Yin Yang Holy Master to send him to this 10,000 Dragons dojo. Naturally, he had a bigger plot. A small impatience will ruin the big plan. Fang Lai understands this truth very well, otherwise he would not be able to treat him as a humble domestic slave. His origins have reached this point today. Because of this, even if he wanted to kill the holy son of Yao Guang, Fang Lai still resisted the murderous intention, fearing that something would go wrong and something unexpected would happen. Everyone thought that the 10,000 Dragons dojo was just a dojo where the ancient dragon clan once practiced. But who would have thought that the real owner of this 10,000 Dragons dojo is a holy dragon? Holy dragon, the real dragon king of the ancient dragon clan. Legend has it that a drop of the holy dragon's blood can allow us humans to cultivate the holy dragon immortal body. And in this 10,000 Dragons dojo, there is a holy dragon scale, which is the reverse scale that the holy dragon shed. Its value is far more precious than the blood of the holy dragon. If you get this holy dragon scale, you will have hope for a divine body. Fang Lai's eyes showed greedy ambition. Such top-secret information was obtained from an old bronze ware he bought at a low price from an unknown ghost market. This is his unique destiny. This time, after obtaining the holy dragon scale and refining it into a divine body, Fang Lai will surely become the unparalleled center of attention in the world. Fang Lai, agitated in his heart, flew towards the place where the holy dragon scale was lurking, following the hints he got from the worn-out bronze. Lai didn't know that at this moment, he had been targeted by Yang Hao. Behind him, Yang Hao's figure was catching up at a high speed. The timelines in Yang Hao's pupils had gradually faded away, although now his cultivation level had already compared to the Dao pattern realm, it was much advanced, but it still took a lot of time to cast the Dao pattern. The most important thing was that he had discovered Fang Lai's traces. Very magical. Although no dragon energy was seen along the way, the treasure body that had just been refined and broken through with dragon energy was boiling with energy and was particularly restless. It seems that where Fang Lai is going, there is really a chance to go there. Yang Hao was also looking forward to it at this time. The protagonist's luck was so miraculous that he was sure that Fang Lai must have discovered the shocking secret of Wanlong Dojo. The two of them walked in tandem, Yang Hao in the dark, Fang Lai in the open, and the Wanlong Dojo was flying through the void. Not long after, Yang Hao's eyes narrowed. Void rift. Yang Hao looked ahead, and in the darkness, a crack suddenly penetrated. As a small world, Wanlong Dojo's space is not stable, and even stronger experts cannot step into it. If such a space crack is normal, Yang Hao would definitely walk around. But under Yang Hao's gaze, he saw Fang Lai staying in the space crack for a moment, then jumped in and disappeared from the void crack. Interesting. Yang Hao chuckled lightly and followed Fang Lai into the space rift. The space shook. Then, countless orange auras surrounded him. Thousands, 10,000, 100,000. After jumping into the space rift, countless the clear dragon energy appeared in Yang Hao's eyes, which was even more terrifying than the place where the dragon energy became a sea just now. The protagonist is indeed extraordinary. When Yang Hao saw the dragon energy in front of him, he couldn't help but take a breath. However, he was not in a hurry to collect it, but looked for Fang Lai's traces again. Soon, Fang Lai's figure appeared in Yang Hao's eyes again. At this moment, he was stepping into a giant door that exuded terrifying pressure. But something strange happened to Yang Hao. In front of him, an almost identical giant door that exuded terrifying pressure suddenly appeared out of thin air. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I took away the villain's son. Author, the great Onmyoji. Chapter 19. Strangeness. Why would a similar giant door appear in front of me? This terrifying giant door exudes frightening pressure. The most eye-catching thing is that the pillars of this giant door are covered with dragon scales, which is extremely ferocious. Yang Hao's eyes were surprised, and Fang Lai's figure was already in his sight. Stepping into the giant door in front of him, he wanted to follow, but found that he couldn't move. The terrifying pressure surged towards him from all directions. There was only one place where there was no pressure, and it was the same thing that appeared in front of him. Huge door. Obviously, this was to force him to go inside. Is it a test? Yang Hao secretly thought in his heart. He knew very well that even the protagonist had to go through many tests before he got the opportunity to gain a lot. This terrifying giant door that suddenly appeared in front of him was the only way. When Yang Hao comes here, he will naturally not retreat easily. Of course, he is not reckless. The seal of eternal life left by the eternal Holy Lord in his body is his confidence. Yang Hao also has a decisive character. Since he cannot leave, he should even without thinking, he slowly walked into the terrifying giant door in front of him. Roar. Forbidden area. Trespassers shall die. As soon as Fang stepped into the giant door, the situation suddenly changed in front of Yang Hao's eyes, and a golden dragon exuding a terrifying aura appeared in front of him. Then, he slapped it with a claw inexplicably. Kindness. Originally, Yang Hao couldn't help but change his expression when he saw this giant golden dragon. Although the ancient dragon clan has disappeared from Zaiwei Star for many years, the legend of the ancient dragon clan is still circulating. An adult ancient dragon clan has terrifying strength and can easily suppress the king. But when Yang Hao sensed that the golden dragon that suddenly appeared was doing something good to him, the seal of eternal life in his body did not move, and he couldn't help but feel something in his heart. It's a shadow. No fatal threat to me. At most, he only has the strength of the 9th level of the supernatural power realm. It seems that it is indeed a test. Yang Hao's eyes condensed, and the power of the Dao mark surged in his body. Facing the attack of the golden dragon, he took action suddenly. He pointed his finger into a sword. The supreme killing sword. The technique that the Holy Son of Light has mastered. This is also the first time Yang Hao has used a terrifying killing technique since he came to this world. This supreme killing sword is one of the powerful foundations of the Holy Land of Eternal Life. Even in Wanlong Dojo, due to the erosion of dragon energy, weapons cannot be used. But there is still a soaring sword energy coming. With a single stroke of Yang Hao's finger, the 10,000-foot-long killing sword directly cut off the giant claws of the golden dragon on the spot. Roar. The golden dragon was extremely angry and was about to attack Yang Hao again. But a shocking scene happened. As the golden dragon moved, its huge body was shattered into pieces and violently smashed into pieces. The sword energy was completely shattered. Seeing this scene, Yang Hao was not surprised. Although he was only in the true physique realm at the moment, his combat power had long surpassed the true physique realm. The unprecedented supreme level Dao patterns, the top martial arts in the world law, coupled with his terrifying physical strength. There is really nothing unusual about fighting across the border. It's just that, he killed the golden dragon in front of him so quickly. If others saw it, they would be shocked inexplicably. It turns out to be just a phantom, no wonder the strength is only in the supernatural realm. If they were all at this level, then Fang Lai should be able to kill them. Yang Hao secretly thought, looking at the broken golden dragon without any flesh and blood. After being killed by him, it turned into a series of phantoms and came towards him. This is. The broken golden dragon phantom poured into his body, and Yang Hao only felt a wave of warmth rising. The shadow of this golden dragon actually contains energy that is purer than dragon energy, and it directly nourishes the physical body without refining at all. The physical body transforms again. Infinitely close to the 4th level of the true body realm. Reward after killing. It is indeed a test of the treatment of the protagonist. Yang Hao was shocked in his heart, but he didn't stop. A road appeared in front of him and he continued to walk forward. After walking forward for several hundred meters, another dark blue dragon appeared in front of Yang Hao. This one was dark blue. The dragon also roared and attacked Yang Hao without any reason. The result is self-evident. Although this dark blue dragon was much stronger than Yang Hao, it was still easily killed by Yang Hao very quickly. After the killing, the same scene appeared again. The broken shadow of the dark blue dragon poured into Yang Hao's body. Yang Hao immediately broke through the third level of the true body realm. Just like that, he moved forward. The speed of moving forward was extremely fast. At the same time, in another world inside the gate, Fang Lai, who encountered various ancient dragon phantoms like Yang Hao, also had the ability to kill these giant dragons, but the speed of killing the dragons was far inferior to Yang Hao. Unknowingly in a short time, Yang Hao was already far behind. The treasure body has been upgraded to a king body. After killing a giant dragon again, Yang Hao's body was crystal clear, with golden light flowing from time to time and then disappearing. After killing many giant dragons in the world inside the door, he accidentally advanced his body to the level of the royal body that countless practitioners dream of. My physical body has been sublimated into a king's body, and I can finally use the 9 nether prison suppressing technique with confidence. Yang Hao's eyes flashed. The king's body formed an extremely strong prison in the body, which is fully capable of suppressing the billions of demons in the body. If necessary, it can forcefully suppress the billions of demons and burst out almost unlimited power. Arrived at the exit. While sensing the changes in his physical body, Yang Hao sensed the front. At this time, the road ahead was bright, and he finally came to the exit. I took away the villain's son. Author, the great Onmyoji. Chapter 20. After the light passed, Yang Hao walked out. What's this? Yang Hao looked around and squinted his eyes. After walking out of the world inside the door, he was in a seemingly ordinary grotto. But inside the grotto, there were a large number of fairy materials and rare treasures accumulated. If it were changed, anyone else would definitely be attracted by the extremely rare immortal materials and treasures in front of them. But as the Holy Son of the Eternal Holy Land, Yang Hao has a very high vision. Although most of these immortal materials and exotic treasures in front of him are extremely rare and valuable, but it was not to the point of shocking Yang Hao. What surprised him was that among this large number of fairy materials and rare treasures, there was an open space. In this clearing surrounded by fairy materials and rare treasures, there were a piece of dark and worn-out scales is suspended. It seems that faintly, wisps of dragon energy can be seen emerging from this dark and worn-out scale. Dragon scales. Yang Hao could vaguely guess that the dragon scale suspended in the center had a lot to do with it, but he couldn't figure out its origin. Suddenly, Yang Hao's heart moved and he glanced at the points income record. At this moment, several pieces of information jumped out. Earned 10,000 points for entering the treasure land. Earned 10,000 points due to being attracted to the Holy Dragon Scale. Earned 1,000 points for reasoning and judgment. Holy Dragon Scale. Yang Hao looked at the system's point income record and was shocked. Although Holy Sun Yaoguang was a born villain, he came from a distinguished family after all and knew many secrets. Yang Hao, who had obtained all the memories of Holy Sun Yaoguang, naturally knew what is a holy dragon. I didn't expect that this Wanlong dojo had a holy dragon practice in the past. The phantoms of the giant dragon before were probably formed by the energy that has escaped from this dragon scale over the years. Nice one. Refining the holy dragon scales will definitely bring much greater benefits than refining the dragon chi. With this thing, it is not a big problem to sublimate the physical body to the immortal body. As expected of the protagonist, his luck is indeed extraordinary. Unfortunately, all the benefits have been taken away from me. Yang Hao stepped forward and collected the suspended holy dragon scale in front of him without hesitation. Kindness. Collection failed. Saint Dragon scales faced Yang Hao's attack and remained motionless, as steady as Mount Tai. It should be that this holy dragon scale has been dormant here for so many years and has been connected with this 10,000 dragons dojo. In this case, it can only be refined directly. Yang Hao did not successfully collect the holy dragon scales, so he had to change his mind and prepare to directly refine the holy dragon scales in front of him into his body. After it was completely refined, there was no need to worry anymore. Yang Hao made a prompt decision and directly he began to refine the holy dragon scale on the spot. He did not completely relax his vigilance. Although he got there first, he knew without much thought that Fang Lai would definitely come here eventually. Yang Hao didn't want to be caught at the last moment. Fang Lai fights back. Refining. While paying attention to the wind and grass, Yang Hao began to resolutely refine the holy dragon scales in front of him. The seemingly dark and worn-out dragon scales in front of him began to tremble crazily the moment they were refined by Yang Hao, and a bright yellow color continued to escape from the surface. The pure dragon energy is swaying in all directions. Boom! As soon as Fang started refining the holy dragon scale in front of him, Yang Hao felt his body vibrate, and fierce currents of warmth poured directly into his body like a flood. Incomparably pure, the energy was so huge that it was terrifying. If Yang Hao's physical body had not been sublimated to the king's body just now, the terrifying energy of the holy dragon scale would have definitely caused Yang Hao's physical body to burst and fall on the spot. Make a lot of money. While Yang Hao was constantly digesting the energy coming from the holy dragon scale, he felt his body sublimate like crazy. He had a hunch that maybe his body would sublimate before he had even completely refined the holy dragon scale in front of him. Become an immortal body. Being able to sublimate into an immortal body so quickly surprised Yang Hao. He didn't know that the holy dragon scales in front of him were the reverse scales of a holy dragon. He also didn't know that when he was refining, when this holy dragon scale was transformed, the entire Wanlong dojo was shaking crazily. Countless dragon energy surged out from nowhere, causing those evil geniuses who had never seen a trace of dragon energy to they are crazy about it. The countless dragon energy that suddenly escapes from the Wanlong dojo is caused by the vibration of this holy dragon scale. One can imagine how terrifying energy this holy dragon scale contains. Even 100,000 or 1 million dragon chi can't compare to this holy dragon scale. As time goes by, most of the holy dragon scale has been refined by Yang Hao, and he has received unimaginable benefits. At this moment, a figure steps forward entering this grotto, his relaxed face suddenly froze with excitement. Looking at the scene in the grotto with incredible eyes, he was stunned for a moment, and the world was spinning. Then, he was so angry that he almost went crazy. Fluct light. Why is he here?